One fan compared the wait to standing outside a theater when the curtains stay closed just a little longer than expected. The anticipation builds. The crowd grows restless, but deep down, everyone knows the performance behind those curtains will be worth it. Another wrote that the delay reminded them of the very themes the show celebrates: patience, trust, and faith, that the story is still unfolding in the right time. These are not just comments, they are reflections of how much The Chosen means to its audience. The community around this show is unlike most fandoms. It's not built only on excitement for the next episode, but on connection, reflection, and shared meaning. Some fans organize watch parties where they gather to discuss not only the storyline, but also the personal impact each scene has had on their lives. For them, Season 6 isn't just entertainment waiting to be streamed. It's an opportunity to reconnect, to experience something that feels larger than themselves. A delay, then, is not just about waiting for content. It's about waiting for a moment of fellowship. Of course, not everyone reacted with patience. A portion of the audience voiced their frustration, pointing out that the wait between seasons feels longer each time. Some worried that the momentum might fade, that people could lose interest in the gap. But even these voices reveal something important: disappointment. This strong only comes from deep investment. No one gets upset about a delay unless they care about what they are waiting for. And here, the frustration itself is proof of love. Expectations for Season 6 remain sky-high. Fans know the narrative is entering sacred pivotal territory. They're not just waiting for character development or plot twists. They're waiting for moments that could bring them to tears, that could inspire them, that could make them reflect on their own lives. They expect visual excellence, emotional depth, and a storytelling honesty that has defined the series from the start. Anything less would feel like a betrayal of everything The Chosen has built. In a way, the delay has intensified those expectations even more. Fans are saying, if we must wait, then make it worth the wait. Every extra week adds pressure on the creators, but it also raises the potential reward: the chance to deliver something unforgettable. The audience is holding on, not with passive interest, but with a burning hunger for the story. That hunger makes this delay feel heavy, but it also guarantees one thing: when Season 6 finally arrives, the release will not be just another streaming drop. It will be an event. A delay is not simply a pause in time, it is a choice. And in the world of storytelling, every choice carries weight. For The Chosen, this delay is more than a scheduling shift. It is a sign that the creators are shaping something larger, something that cannot be rushed. Season 6 is not just the next season. It represents a turning point, the kind of chapter that defines how people remember a story years after it ends. The decision to wait means that the creative team has chosen precision over speed. This could translate into richer dialogue, deeper emotional arcs, and scenes that feel not only authentic, but timeless. Imagine a painter refusing to sign their canvas until every shade is perfectly balanced. That is what this pause could mean for The Chosen. The canvas is not ready, because the details deserve more care. Delays in production often frustrate audiences, but history shows that they can transform projects into masterpieces. Films and shows that took extra time, whether because of rewrites, reshoots, or simply a creative pause, often emerged stronger, sharper, and more powerful. The Chosen may be walking this same path. What feels like a setback now could be the very reason Season 6 rises above everything that came before. The timing also matters. By the 6th season, the story is approaching sacred ground. The weight of the narrative grows heavier, and the scenes become more emotionally charged. These are not moments to stumble through quickly. They demand reverence, accuracy, and emotional truth. To delay Season 6 is to say, these moments matter too much to risk imperfection. It is both a creative and a spiritual decision. But what does this mean for fans waiting on the other side of the screen? It means that their patience may be rewarded with a season that doesn't just meet expectations, but surpasses them. It means that when the curtain finally lifts, the story could deliver the kind of depth that lingers long after the credits roll. And it means that this delay, though painful, might actually be an investment in creating the definitive season of The Chosen. The irony is striking. Fans who wait impatiently now are echoing the very themes they will later see reflected in the story. Patience, endurance, and trust that something greater is being prepared. The delay is not a denial, it is a promise. A promise that the story will arrive when it is fully ready, not when the calendar demands it. So what this means for Season 6 is simple, yet profound. It will carry the weight of time. The delay does not weaken the story, it strengthens its potential. It raises the bar, sets the stakes higher, and places the responsibility on the creators to deliver something unforgettable. And if history is any guide, The Chosen has never backed down from that responsibility. Every delay creates a question mark, but it also creates a horizon. When people ask, "What now? What happens next?" they aren't only asking about dates on a calendar, they are asking about the future of a story they've grown to love. For The Chosen, looking ahead after this delay means more than waiting for an episode. It means stepping closer to the heart of the journey that has been building since the very first season. Season 6 will not arrive in silence. When it does come, it will bring with it scenes that many have been longing for, moments whispered about in discussions, prayed over in church gatherings, and debated across fan groups online. These are not ordinary storylines. They are turning points in one of the most sacred narratives ever told. To rush them would be to reduce their meaning. To wait is to honor their wait. The delay now allows the creators to refine not only what happens on screen, but how it is experienced. The Chosen has always thrived on more than dialogue and performance. It thrives on atmosphere, authenticity, and a kind of emotional honesty that pulls viewers in as if they are standing in the dust of the roads themselves. Looking ahead, this extra time could mean grander sets, sharper details, and performances carved from deeper preparation. And it isn't only about the production. It's about the audience too. The pause has created space for conversations, for fans to reflect on what has already been shown, to re-watch, to re-experience, and to reconnect. When Season 6 finally arrives, viewers will not come to it empty-handed. They will come with renewed hunger, sharper anticipation, and a greater readiness to receive the next chapter. The wait is building a collective energy that no amount of marketing could create. Looking ahead, the delay may also shape how the season is released. Could it bring a staggered schedule, building suspense week after week? Or will it return as a powerful full-season drop, giving audiences the chance to lose themselves in the story in one sweeping experience? These choices remain in the hands of the creators. But one thing is clear: whatever approach is chosen, it will carry the weight of this waiting period. What lies beyond this delay is not emptiness, but promise. The Chosen has built its identity on being different from traditional entertainment, and this pause reinforces that identity. It shows that the series is not driven by deadlines alone, but by devotion to the story. The future of Season 6, then, is not in doubt. It is simply gathering strength, like a storm on the horizon, preparing for the moment it finally breaks. And when it does, the world of fans who have waited, sometimes with frustration, sometimes with patience, will be united again. Looking ahead, the promise is not just of another season but of a defining chapter, one that could stand as the series' most powerful yet. The curtain hasn't fallen. It has only been drawn for a little longer. The Chosen Season 6 may be delayed, but it is not lost. It waits, being shaped in silence, refined behind the scenes, and prepared with care for the very audience that has carried it from the beginning. What feels like a pause now is, in truth, a promise that when the story returns, it will return with greater weight, greater beauty, and greater purpose. For fans, the choice now is how to respond. Some will grow restless, some will drift away, but others will stand firm, holding on to the story the same way the story itself has taught them to hold on to faith, with endurance, with patience, and with expectation. The delay is not easy, but it mirrors the very lessons woven into every scene of The Chosen, that sometimes the most meaningful journeys require waiting. So the question comes to you: will you wait? Will you stay with the story even through the silence, trusting that what is being built will be worth every day of anticipation. The Chosen has always been more than entertainment. It is a movement, a gathering, a shared experience that connects people across continents and cultures. And Season 6, though delayed, is still part of that larger mission. Stay alert, stay hopeful, revisit the story from the beginning. Share it with someone who has yet to see it. Build the anticipation together, because when The Chosen finally returns, it will not arrive quietly. It will arrive as an event, a moment of unity that reminds us why we cared so deeply in the first place. The wait just got longer. The Chosen Season 6 has been officially delayed, and fans all over the world are holding their breath. This isn't just another TV show getting pushed back. The Chosen is a series that has touched millions, a show that people plan their time around, a story that has inspired conversations, watch parties, and even personal journeys of faith. Now, with this delay, the one question echoing across the fan community is simple but powerful. Why? The Chosen is no ordinary series. It broke barriers when it first launched, proving that a faith-based drama could capture mainstream attention, not just through storytelling but also through the way it connected with audiences on a deeper emotional level. From its humble beginnings as a crowd-funded project, it grew into a cultural movement. Fans didn't just watch the episodes, they supported the production, spread the word, and made it one of the most successful crowd-driven projects in entertainment history. That is why this delay feels so significant. When you invest not only your time but also your passion into a story, every extra day of waiting feels heavier. Season after season, The Chosen has managed to keep its momentum. Season 1 introduced audiences to a fresh, human-centered look at the life of Jesus and his followers. Instead of focusing only on miracles and sermons, it pulled back the curtain to show the struggles, doubts, and emotions of the people who walked alongside him. That approach made the show different, more relatable, and more powerful. By the time Season 2 arrived, fans were already hooked, waiting to see the journey deepen and unfold. Each new chapter pulled in more viewers, not just from the United States, but from every corner of the globe. When Season 3 dropped, it was clear that The Chosen had established itself as something bigger than just entertainment. Churches were organizing group screenings. Online discussions became larger and louder. People began quoting lines, sharing clips, and urging friends and family to watch. It wasn't simply a series to binge, it was an experience to share. By the time Season 5 ended, the audience wasn't just curious about what came next. They were deeply invested. The characters had grown, the stakes had risen, and fans knew that Season 6 was going to be a critical turning point in the story. That's why anticipation was sky high. Social media feeds were filled with theories about the plot, guesses about new characters, and countdowns to the expected release date. Some fans had even marked their calendars, planning viewing parties and community discussions. The buzz around Season 6 was undeniable. And then suddenly, news of the delay changed everything. The excitement shifted into worry, confusion, and frustration. What could cause such a highly awaited season to stall? Was it a production issue? A scheduling conflict? Or something more? This is the moment where the delay truly stings. Because for fans, The Chosen isn't just a casual watch, it's a story that has become part of their lives. And when something that meaningful gets pushed back, it feels personal. The energy and passion that surrounded Season 6 are now on pause, and the community is waiting, watching, and hoping for answers. The news came quietly, almost like a whisper that turned into a storm. One moment, fans were waiting with confidence, counting the days until Season 6. And the next, the announcement landed. The Chosen Season 6 will not arrive on schedule. It wasn't delivered with fireworks or drama, just a straightforward update from the team. But the impact of that simple message was powerful. For a community built around hope, faith, and anticipation, those few words carried the weight of disappointment. The creators confirmed that production had hit challenges, and though they did not present the delay as a failure, it was clear that something behind the scenes had forced them to take more time. For some shows, a delay might pass without much noise. But The Chosen isn't just another show. Its audience is deeply connected to the journey, not just as viewers, but as supporters. Every delay feels like a personal pause button on a story that people are eager to continue. What makes this announcement so striking is how it unfolded. The official update was calm, professional, and reassuring. The team explained that the decision was made to protect the quality of the series. They emphasized that Season 6 deserved the best possible execution, and rushing it would betray the very heart of what The Chosen stands for. For a show that has always been about depth rather than speed, this explanation made sense. Yet for fans who were ready to dive back into the story, it still left a sting. The delay itself wasn't painted as indefinite doom. There was no message of cancellation, no warning of the project collapsing. Instead, the tone was hopeful. The creators wanted to assure the audience that Season 6 is coming, but it needs more time to be crafted with care. This was not a door closing. It was simply a moment of waiting at the threshold. Still, the timing of the news created ripples. It arrived just when the fanbase had reached peak anticipation. Online forums, discussion groups, and social media platforms lit up with reactions within hours. Some fans expressed frustration, others voiced understanding, and many reminded themselves of one thing: good stories are worth waiting for. The announcement didn't just delay a release date, it sparked a conversation across the globe about patience, expectation, and faith in the project's vision. The irony is almost poetic. The Chosen, a series built on themes of endurance, belief, and waiting for promises to unfold, is now asking its audience to embody those very lessons. The delay may test patience, but it also strengthens the bond between creators and fans. By choosing honesty over silence and quality over speed, the announcement carried a message far beyond a new release date. It became a reminder that art worth experiencing is art worth waiting for. Every great story has moments that unfold away from the spotlight, hidden from the eyes of the audience. The same is true for The Chosen. While fans see polished episodes filled with powerful performances, moving music, and breathtaking locations, the road to bringing that vision alive is filled with challenges. And sometimes those challenges pile up in ways no one can predict. Behind the camera, filmmaking is never as simple as pressing record. It is a carefully choreographed dance where hundreds of moving parts have to align. A single misstep, weather delays, location issues, or scheduling conflicts, can cause a domino effect. Imagine entire sets built to look authentic, only to be put on hold because storms rolled in and ruined the schedule. Or consider how even one actor's conflict with timing can delay entire scenes. These are the invisible hurdles that often shape the final timeline. For The Chosen, the stakes are even higher. This is not a show with endless studio backing and unlimited funds. It began as a crowd-funded project, meaning every frame is built with responsibility to the very people who believe in it. That responsibility pushes the team to aim for excellence, not shortcuts. So when production hits obstacles, whether financial, logistical, or creative, the only real option is to pause, adjust, and protect the story's integrity. Another layer to this delay lies in creative choices. The Chosen has never been about rushing through its narrative. Writers and directors constantly refine scripts, ensuring dialogue feels human, authentic, and timeless. Sometimes that means rewriting entire scenes to capture the right emotional truth. In television, rewrites aren't unusual, but in a show like this, where every line could carry deep meaning, taking more time can make the difference between good and unforgettable. And then there's the weight of expectation. By Season 6, the creators aren't just telling another chapter. They're approaching pivotal moments in the story of Jesus' ministry. These are scenes audiences around the world have been waiting to see. Moments sacred to many, filled with history, faith, and cultural significance. Rushing them could risk losing the heart of the message. So when the team says they need more time, it may very well be because these upcoming storylines demand precision, respect, and care that cannot be achieved under pressure. Production delays are not glamorous. They often mean long nights, tough conversations, and difficult choices. But behind all of that is a team that knows one truth: Audiences may grumble about waiting, but they will not forgive a story that feels incomplete or careless. By choosing to delay Season 6, The Chosen's creators are essentially saying, "We'd rather make you wait than give you less than what this story deserves." So while fans may only see a pause in release dates, behind the curtain, it is a battlefield of dedication, sacrifice, and commitment to excellence. The delay isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that the storytellers respect the story itself too much to let it be rushed. When the delay was announced, the echo was immediate. It wasn't just one voice, but thousands. Across social media, in church groups, on online forums, and even around dinner tables, fans shared the same question. Why now? Some expressed disappointment with a sigh, others with frustration, and yet many more responded with quiet understanding. It became more than news. It became a collective experience, a wave of emotion felt by people who may never meet in person, but are bound together by this story.